I am running for council, and
See, you're hitting a block. Do you know what that block is? You're in pain.
yes, because I see it happening to my other colleagues.
But you don't acknowledge what happened to you. What is that about?
More information.
What is your story?
Because I started politics very young. My mother was...
No, what is your pain? What happened to you? Why are you angry is what I mean. Because the question I've been asked... Either one, you choose.
Well, my mother was the first one to get equal property rights back in 1967, and I saw the pain that she had to endure when she was waiting for the court to decide if she would lose 7 children. And I saw that pain of loss, but she won. She did win. But the pain we had to go through for years was incredibly dreadful, terribly painful.
So what would you like to release today?
That pain.
Okay, great. So let me break it down. That fear of loss. Okay. Well, that makes sense that you would be afraid of not having the victory, because it sounds like your mother was pretty strong, right? If she fought for some legislation or whatever you're describing and she won, then there would be that strength of women in your family. So that's not your problem. That's not your problem, but can I tell you what your problem is? Your mother was very strong, but she was not very vulnerable.
Interesting.
So you're comfortable with strength, you're okay with anger, but you're not very comfortable with being vulnerable as a woman.
Ah. See, I knew I had to come here and get this advice. Say that again.
You're okay with anger, you're okay with women, being a woman who is strong, but you're not comfortable with being a woman who is vulnerable.
Okay, yeah, I can accept that.
Perfect.
I want to be more confident.
You don't need more confidence. I think anybody in the audience here could agree that you don't need confidence. And do you push men away?
No, because I've been happily married now for 35 years.
No, I didn't mean just you.
Yes, I do push certain men away. Yes, I do push away the men that do not treat people fair or do not treat people equally and fairly. Yes, I do.
Because you're angry. So I need you to own your own anger and take responsibility for it. Because you have not acknowledged today what you're angry about. Why?
I'm here for you to help me get it out of me.
What happened? Did your dad piss you off?
Oh, yes.
Okay, now we're getting to the truth. What did he do or didn't do?
Well, he was a sexual predator.
I was just about to say rape. I was hearing rape. And women who have been sexually abused are very, very angry. And there's a cycle here that happens where the abuser transfers negative energy to the victim, and then the victim is not only angry because the rights have been violated, right? Because that's your body, right? Those are our bodies, and when they get violated, we get angry. Angry means unfairness, right? So that anger is rooted in pain, though. So what is your pain underneath that anger?
My physical pain or
your emotional pain?
Loss, grief.
How could you say that you're angry in a complete sentence? Hi, thank you. Chandler will introduce you when it's your turn.
Say that again? What's the question?
How can you articulate, I'm angry because I feel ripped off? That's an example.
Well, I feel angry because I did not have a father. I had to grow up without a father, and my mother, the whole family, my mother, everyone had to work I had to be more than average to be average in that time period in the 60s. I had to strive, I had to work harder, it seemed like anybody else, to just seem to be accepted like I was average. And I'm a genius.
You don't acknowledge the wound. Are you aware? I don't think your mother demonstrated to you what it looks like to be vulnerable as a woman. So it's totally...
No, she didn't. You're right, because she couldn't. She couldn't.
Right, because she was too busy being strong.
She was very, very abused.
Yeah, because it's normal for women who have been abused to be angry. Now, I want to ask you if you were abused.
Yes.
So can you own that? Own it in a sentence. I'm angry because I was abused. My human rights were violated. And because of that, I'm angry.
I'm angry because I was abused, because my human rights and my body was violated.
Good. Take a breath. Let the pain come up.
I'm angry because I was abused, and my body was violated, and my whole being was violated, and it felt like it took pieces out of me. It made me feel inferior. It made me feel not having the confidence. It made me feel it just wasn't fair. It made me feel that I wasn't worth anything but a man to have sex with.
And how does that make you feel? Breathe.
Very angry. It makes me feel, but it feels now that I'm releasing something. I'm feeling more calm
As you're talking about it. Because two things. Because a wound needs a witness, number one. And number two, pain has to come up and out the throat chakra. Right? And you are so busy up in here. You gotta live from in here and in here. So when I got you to talk your truth, you were kind of dipping down into the heart. There's still so much pain inside that needs to come up and out of the throat chakra. Yeah.